So, word on the street is that Ohuhu has dropped Skintone markers. If you have not heard, they have a 24 set of Skintone markers that they released just a couple days ago, and so of course I took it upon myself to order me a few. So I was very, very excited, and I literally waited until they dropped them off on my doorstep to open them up with you guys so that we can get into these skin tone markers together. I have been on the prowl for some inexpensive, good quality skin tone markers, and Ohuhu just decides that they're going to drop them some. And yes, they are brush tips. So I was super excited about that. I decided, since I lost a nail a couple of days ago, guys, I decided to put a band-aid on my finger. So don't mind her. But let's get into these colors. So at first glance, I was actually pretty excited to get to doing some swatching, because as I was looking at the tops, I was, just curious about the colors. I did off the bat see a lot of browns, a lot of dark browns. I will let you know that these 6 here are ones that I already had between the 48 and 72 set. The 72 set includes all 6 of those markers, guys. I can let you know that this skin tone set lacks any kind of lighter tones for lighter skin, like none. There was not one. After all of the swatching, I was just like, what colors could you use for lighter skin tones? All of them were darker, and had more of like medium tones, and a lot of the browns had orange, have like an orange tint to them. And so some of those are ones that it's like, oh my god, these are just too orange to even use for a skin tone. I was quite surprised that they didn't have anything that could be used for lighter skin tones, i.e. because this is a skin tone set. And so I was just not impressed, y'all. Not impressed. And y'all know how much I love Ohuhu. But as I was getting to the end of swatching, and as you can see here, I'm about to swatch a very, very light green, which is a part of the pastel set that they released maybe like a month or two back. I had no idea why it was in this set. Maybe it can be used for maybe undertone or something, but I'm sure I would never use it for undertone. And so I was just like, this is like one that's just so random and shouldn't even be in this set, when there's absolutely no markers in this set that can be used for lighter tones. So after I got finished with the swatching, I really was sort of confused as to why there were certain markers that Ohuhu already has in their set. If you own the 120 set, or you have the 80 set, and I want to say even the 60 set, guys, there are markers that are in these sets that work beautiful for lighter skin tones. And so the whole purpose of why I bought the skin tone set was thinking that these markers would be in the skin tone set as with brush tips. Here is 29, 97, and 25. These work so good with lighter skin tones, and I was very upset that these were not in this set, because I would love for them to have a brush tip. Somebody please call Ohuhu and let them know that these need to be in their skin tone set. They need to just do a whole redo. Do a whole redo, because this is insane. What I do like is that I do have these. They're still Ohuhu, so I can always add these to my skin tones, but it would have been nice to have them with a brush tip. There are a few other numbers that I show you guys at which I believe is 26, and then there's a WG 0 something, because mine has like worn off, but y'all, those are good skin tone markers. So I decided to make an attempt at using these on some girls, some faces that I drew, and see how well I could use them for skin tones. And I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I was into it, but not really, because everything was so orange. Everything had such an orange undertone to them. And I was really let down. I really was. Now, this first color that I'm using, I really was okay with it. I did like it. It was one of the colors that I actually loved. I felt like it was very nice to be used for like a medium skin tone, with a caramel skin. I actually did like this one. And also this one as well, which I was using for like maybe like a darker blush, and I want to say it's R26 that I was using. And actually this first face, I actually liked how it came out as well. I can just let you guys know, I was just sort of bummed out by the time I got to actually coloring in the faces that I drew, because I was so excited about getting the set, and I had already, got myself geeked up about the video and my cute little faces that I had drawn out. And as I was, just coloring everything in, I was just like, oh man, when I get to my lighter skin tones, they're gonna all have like Oompa Loompa faces. So I was just bummed out, I guess, as I got to the end. As I'm getting closer to finishing up my first girl, I really did love how the colors came out. I was able to blend. You guys do know that the blending with the Ohuhu markers are very good. The brushes are the same. Everything feels the same and is working the same. We just wish the colors were just a bit more. As I got into the second girl, I was doing a darker skin tone because there are a lot of dark browns in this set. And so I wanted to work on a darker skin tone, because what I can admit is that I'm still working on perfecting a very dark skin without it looking just all over just dark, just being able to show like the highlights and different things. So I was very curious to see how these darker browns would work, and I can say that I need a little more practice. That's what I will admit. Definitely working with my darker skin tones. So I'm sure in the future you guys will see me working on more darker skin tones in the future, because I really want to perfect it. Here I was using two of their darker browns. I cannot remember the colors, but I know that they are the two darker of the browns that come in this set. Now, what I can admit is that I am still perfecting my darker skin tone blending, because I felt like I over blended her in certain areas. And as I kept continuing, I just kept repeating in my head, don't mess her up, don't mess her up, don't mess her up. And what I can say is that once everything sort of dried and, settled, she looked so much better. But I don't think she's going to look that cute in this part of the video. I definitely want to practice on perfecting my darker skin tones and the highlights and everything. That is just something that I have to do. So with her hair, I decided to go with a lighter brown because there are no grays or blacks that are in this set. So they have a brown that is very close to black, and I believe they have it, I think it's called black brown actually, but it is very close to black. So I used that, and then just some of the lighter browns to just sort of brighten her up a little bit. I just didn't want to put so much darker browns on her because her skin is dark. I can say I sort of struggled with her. So guys, the sun had gone down, was starting to go down on me. So you'll see my lighting sort of go back and forth in these next couple of shots, because I did go into working with my lighter skin tones. What I can say is I did love the yellows that came in. I feel like I was able to pull off a really good blonde. You can see here where I tried to cut the light on, because I don't have actual studio lights that I use. I just love to use natural lighting. But I did not like how it looked with the lights on, so I just cut them right back off. But I do wish that there was like just one darker yellow that I could have used to just make the hair a little bit lighter. But I actually liked how the blonde actually came out. So the color that I'm using for her skin is actually, I believe it's called the salmon pink, and it's actually in the 48 set and the 72 set. It was literally the only color that was like close to anything that I could use for a lighter skin tone, and it doesn't look as orangey and peachy as it really is on this video as I'm looking. But listen y'all, it is so orange and peachy. It really is. And I was just like, oh my God. And so then on top of that, I used, there's a color, I want to say this is still R26 that I'm using for the blush. And it left her with like it looked like raccoon eyes underneath. I was just not feeling it, y'all, like at all. I literally only loved her bob. I was not feeling it. The colors were just not, you don't know how bad I wanted to grab my Ohuhu markers from the 120 set and do her skin, but I knew I couldn't do that because I have to show you guys what's actually in the set. So I tried to do sort of like a darker medium skin tone. Y'all, it just was not working out because even this marker was still too orange for skin, and I feel like on my blonde hair you can see how peachy and orange it is. This marker was no better. This color is no better. I just feel like it was just so orange, so peachy. I was just like, oh my God. You know, I had almost felt like I wanted to just give up because the colors were just too orange, and I really did not like them. I really did not. But I decided to just continue on. I made her a brunette because, again, I could use some of the lighter browns to at least try a different hair color. But y'all, I can tell you, I just was not really feeling these markers. The colors anyway. I guess I would just end with that. I just feel like Ohuhu needs to just review these colors and go back to the drawing board and really pick up some of the colors that they already had and add them to this set. The set is not all bad. There are different browns that they did introduce that you can use for darker skin tones, which was definitely a plus, but you can't leave out our lighter skinned sisters. Like, you just can't leave them out, okay? We need those colors. So I would definitely just say, for anyone that is wanting to buy this Ohuhu set, if you already have the 120 set and you make lighter skin tones, then just stick with that because there are no lighter skin tones in this set that you could really use. If you do a lot of darker skin tones, then this is the set for you because there are a lot of good browns and darker skin tones that you can use. I will say that, but my honest review would just be for Ohuhu to go back to the drawing board. Just go back, add some of those lighter tones, and this will really be an okay set. I just feel like they already have some of those lighter tones that are already a part of their collection, so they just obviously need to add them to the skin tone set, which they probably are going to do, which means that you're going to release another set that'll have lighter skin tones in it, and then people will have to rebuy that because you can't buy their markers separately. So that sort of becomes a bummer. On a better note, I loved how this brunette's hair came out because, as again, I did say that there are good browns that are in this set because all of the browns that I use for her hair will be awesome as a skin tone. But in the end, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. So thank you for watching.